Everybody knows the kettlebell swing is an absolute banger when it comes to joint-friendly power and conditioning training. Today I'm going to show you a couple of more advanced variations that are going to help you get even more out of this old school classic. And you won't even need to buy a heavier kettlebell to use them. Originally I planned to shoot this video a few weeks ago, but I had some technical issues. So I'm doing it today. Let's go. Hey, real quick. If you're over the age of 40, the healthiest thing you could be doing for yourself is to start a daily mobility practice. And in order to help you do that, I've put together a free 7.5-minute morning mobility routine for you. You can get it by clicking the link in the description down below. Now, before we start, these are more advanced variations of the basic swing. So if you are still working on the basic swing, these are not going to be a good fit for you. Instead, go practice, dial in your swing, then come back and add in the techniques I'm going to show you in this video. So the first one we're going to talk about is the overspeed swing. And in order to do that, you are going to need a band that looks something like this. So setup for this is super simple. All we're going to do is take the band, we're going to pull it through this hole right here. We want to make sure that this side of the band doesn't get caught on the bottom of the bell or the front of the bell, instead that it loops in and cinches in nice and tight at the bottom of the horns. And then we're going to pull this out into this kind of triangle shape. Okay, so foot placement, we want the band slightly in front of the heel, and then we want to create just a little bit of tension here, right? So we're not coming from this position where we're all the way slack. Instead, we want to push it out till there's just a little bit of tension on the band, and that's how we're going to set up for these swings. So now I'm going to go over some of the finer technical points of this exercise. Now, I can't do these slowly because the whole point of the band is it forces you to move very rapidly. So I'm going to do some ghost reps. So just imagine that I'm holding a kettlebell, right, when I do these. First, the most common mistake I see when I've coached this exercise, even if they are very competent at the standard swing, is not coming all the way to lockout, right? So they'll do something that looks like this, right? Everything's fast, but they're not snapping to this tight standing plank position, which is what we're looking for at the top of the swing, right? Where the abdominals are braced, the glutes are tight, everything's locked down and stiff. In a lot of cases, awareness of the problem can be the cure. So just by keeping that in mind, I'm hoping that you can avoid making that mistake. Something else I want you to bear in mind is to consciously contract your abdominals at the bottom of the swing and contract them hard. The abdominals are going to serve as your brake here. So I want you to contract your abdominals as hard as you can at the bottom and then explode forward, right? Maximum intensity shooting in that direction, Peter North style. Now, the most powerful part of this exercise where all the magic really happens is in the amortization phase. And that takes place after we've absorbed all this force, right? The weight of the kettlebell, the band's pulling us in, even our own intention to drive and hike the kettlebell down. There's this split second, this moment where we absorb the force, and then we redirect it out, right? We shoot it in that direction. And this is what makes the overspeed swing such a powerful tool for fast twitch muscle fiber development. This is not a high repetition exercise. This is not a cardio exercise. This is an exercise you are going to want to keep to 10 reps and below. You can even go as low as 5 reps if you have to. If you're familiar with the idea of plyometric training, where we're absorbing energy and then redirecting the energy, essentially kind of bouncing out of a position, this is a plyometric for your hip hinge pattern. This kind of overspeed training is one of the best things you can do for your neuromuscular system. It'll keep your nervous system sharp, your reaction time fast, and your tissues resilient. Next, we have the dead start swing, and this is going to teach you to be able to express raw power through your hips without using any momentum to do so. It's all about you generating maximum power from your hamstrings and glutes, basically out of nothing. We're gonna set up with the kettlebell in front. We're gonna set up the hinge already. And most common mistake I see here is actually people not bringing the shoulders in and down, right? Leaving the shoulders out. So hopefully that'll be curative, just being aware of it. We're gonna lean the weight back. Wanna make sure that we're already feeling that load in the hamstrings and glutes. Breathe in, push the air down, and then reset the bell. We start over on every single rep. Cinch in, lean back, hike, explode. Make sure you're feeling the hamstrings and glutes. Hike, explode. That's the dead start swing. Every single rep is a brand new start. No momentum. it's on you to generate that maximal force, boom, out of nowhere. And this is a great variation for developing that neurological component of power and strength, right? That ability to quickly and maximally contract your muscles. Okay, so as far as programming these goes, this kind of training is very much quality focused, not quantity focused. So keep your reps to 10 or below for each of these exercises, and instead focus on maximum intensity, maximum power, and maximum mental focus on each and every single repetition. And these kind of lifts are best done relatively early in your workout after you're already a little bit warmed up, and they will develop your speed and power, and they will potentiate your nervous system to be able to lift heavier later in the workout. So do a bit of a warm up, then do these lifts, then move on to the rest of your workout. Don't think of these as replacements for your regular swing training. Instead, think of them as supplements, things you'll bring in every now and again for periods of time in order to sharpen up certain aspects of your athleticism. And remember, these are not for ranked beginners. You already need to have your swing technique pretty damn dialed in before you start playing around with it using tools like these. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today. I really appreciate it. If you found the information in it useful, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel so much. Thanks again. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.